Welcome learners in the series of videos on topology. We are looking at the countability properties and precisely first countable spaces. Okay. In the previous video, we have proved a statement and we have used that to prove this. Okay. I hope you have proved this. It states if x is first countable space and A is a subset of x, then this x is the limit point of A if and only if there is a sequence in A which converges to x. And again we have the second part of this theorem. Okay, so mostly we will use this in today's video. So before proceeding to the next thing, let me simply recall how we define the convergence of the sequence an. Okay, now this an converges to x, roughly an converges to x if we can show that every neighborhood, say if you take any neighborhood u of x, this u should contain all but finitely many elements of an, the sequence an. Okay, that means there should exist some n naught in natural number such that this an should contain or belongs, not contain, it should belongs to u for all n greater than or equals to n naught. So if this is true, then we can say that this an converges to x. Okay, that means if you take any neighborhood of x, that neighborhood should contain all but finitely many. That means you should get some natural number such that after that natural number, all the terms of the sequence should be in the given neighborhood. Okay, so remember this fact. So we'll use this in the today's video. In fact, we will prove two statements today. So let's move. Let us take that as theorems. Okay. Theorem. First, let f be the function from topological spaces x and y. So f be a function from x to y, and assume that this is continuous. So be continuous function. Let us assume that this is a continuous function. Okay, if the sequence xn is a sequence in the domain in x such that xn converges to x. Of course, this x will be also in the domain x, that is our domain of the function f. Then the images of xn, that is fxn. So obviously this will be a sequence in y, our codomain, and that converges to fx, and also this fx is in y. So if one wants to understand how this is something like, this is our domain x, this is our codomain, say y. Okay, there is a point x in the domain and sequence xn which converges to x. So if you have some neighborhood, say some neighborhood of x, this is x, so this will contain infinitely many points from this domain, the sequence, and some finitely many will be outside this, maybe some finitely many, maybe 100,000 whatever, but finitely many. So after some n naught, all the points will be in this. Okay, and of course these points are in our domain, so you will have fx here somewhere. So this is fx. What we have to show is the images of fxn. These are the xn's, so obviously this will be some xn's, right, somewhere. What you need to show that is this xn, the sequence fxn converges to fx. This is what the total idea is. F is the function from x to y. Okay, so let us do that. So to show that this fxn converges to fx, let us take a neighborhood of fx and show that there exists some n naught such that after that n naught, all the points from this sequence fxn are inside that neighborhood. Okay. Okay, so let us prove it. Proof. Let us take a neighborhood. Say that V be neighborhood of fx. So here we have a neighborhood V. So we have something V like this. Okay. So V be the neighborhood of fx. So there are infinite many points we have to show. So if V is a neighborhood of fx, this implies what? This implies fx, of course, will belong to V. So if fx belongs to V and f is a function, this implies this x will belong to inverse image of V. So this is V, its inverse image will be here in the domain. So let us take this to be f inverse of V, that is the inverse image. Okay. And since V is open and f is continuous function, we know that f is continuous function by hypothesis. F is continuous function, V is open in Y, that means inverse image of V is open in X. So let us write that since V is open in Y and F is continuous, this implies f inverse of V is open in X. So what we have, we know that this f inverse of V is open and X belongs to f inverse of V. This implies, that is, we can say f inverse of V is neighborhood of X. Okay, and what we know? We know that xn converges to X in the domain. So since this xn converges to X and f inverse of V is neighborhood of X, this implies there exists some natural number, say n0, belonging to natural number, such that this xn will belongs to this neighborhood for all the natural numbers which are greater than or equals to n0. So if xn belongs to f inverse of V for all n greater than or equals to n0, this implies fxn will belongs to V for all n greater than or equals to n0. So what we have started? We have started with a neighborhood V of fx. So corresponding to V, we have a natural number n0 such that fxn belongs to V for all n greater than or equals to n0. Okay, and hence by the definition we can say that the sequence f at xn, these are the points of the sequence, will converge to fx. Okay, and this is what we wanted to prove. This is our conclusion of the theorem. Then fxn converges to fx, and we have proved that fxn converges to fx. Okay, and now let us state the another theorem, which is again based on this continuity. Okay, now remember, let me just again read this. It says if f is continuous and xn converges to X, implies fxn converges to fx. Conversely, now I repeat, conversely, if xn converges to X, implies fxn converges to fx for all the sequences, and if x is first countable, then we can say that f is continuous. I repeat, if this situation is true for all the sequences, and if x is first countable, then we can claim that f is continuous. So let us state and prove that result. Okay. So again, let us take that as a theorem. Theorem. Let f be a function from x to y, such that fxn, remember fxn is the sequence now, fxn converges to fx for all sequences you take any sequence xn, of course this xn will be in x with xn converges to x, and this x is from x for some x. Okay, this is your hypothesis. Now if our domain x is first countable, then we can show that f is continuous. Again, there are many ways to show f is continuous. The way we have defined, inverse image of an open set is open, then f is continuous. Also, inverse image of a closed set is closed, then also f is continuous. So in this proof, we will show that inverse image of a closed set is closed in x. Okay, that approach we will use. Also, one can say that inverse image of an open set is open. If we manage to show that inverse image of open set is open, then we can say that f is continuous. But as I said, we will use a closed set approach. So let us take a closed set in Y. Okay, so again, if you want me to draw, this is our domain X, this is our codomain Y, and F is a function from X to Y. Okay, now let us take a open set in our codomain, say E. Sorry, let us take a closed set E. So let A be closed in Y. We need to show that, of course, the inverse image will be this side. So let us again write inverse image of this A. So it will be here. This is inverse image of A. Our claim is f inverse of A is closed. And again, there are many ways to show that some set is closed. Show that its complement is open, or show that A equals to A closure. Okay, that is also way of proof. If A equals to closure of A, then A is closed. Okay, let us use that closure property. So we will show that let me use the same color to show that inverse image of A is closed in X. Okay, so that is to show that f inverse of A is closed in X. Let us show that closure of where it will be in X. So closure of f inverse of A is equals to f inverse of A. This is our set now. So let us show that closure of f inverse of A is equals to f inverse of A. Then if we manage to show this, we can claim that f inverse of A is closed. Okay, so let us show that this is true. Okay, now to show this, of course, we know that f inverse of A is contained inside closure of f inverse of A, because this is the intersection of all those closed set which contains f inverse of A. Of course, f inverse of A will be subset of this. So let us take a point here. Let X belongs to closure of f inverse of A. So now we will use the last theorem what we have stated. X belongs to closure. Yeah, we know that X is first countable. A is a subset of X. X is the limit point of A, right? And this happens. And secondly, we have this also. X is the limit point of A. And of course, if X is the limit point of A, then it has to be in the closure. Okay. So let us use that property. So let X belongs to closure of f inverse of A. This implies there exists a sequence, say xn, in this set in inverse image of A such that this xn converges to X. And this is true because X is first countable. Okay, so if xn converges to x, this implies fxn converges to fx, and this is by hypothesis, by hypothesis. Okay, so we have this fxn converges to fx. So what we have, we know that this xn sequence is in f inverse of A, right? Inverse image of A. This implies what? This implies the images of xn, that is fxn, will belongs to A. So if fxn belongs to A, that means what we have? We have, there is a sequence, say fxn in A, such that from here, such that fxn converges to fx. Now again, by using the same property, we can say that this implies this fx will be belonging to closure of A in Y, because we got a subsequent sequence in A such that that sequence converges to fx. That means this fx will be inside closure of A in Y, and we know that this is equals to AY because we started with a closed set. So if A is closed, then closure of A is same as A. So because A is closed, so what we have, this implies this fx belongs to A, and of course if fx belongs to A, this implies x belongs to inverse image of A. But we have started with a point in closure of f inverse of A, and we managed to show that this x belongs to f inverse of A here. This implies closure of f inverse of A is contained inside f inverse of A. Let us take this as equation 1, and we know that inverse image of A is contained inside its closure, because this is the smallest, it's the intersection of all those closed set which contains C, right? So this is f inverse of A. This is our equation number 2. Let us take them, and from 1 and 2, we get f inverse of A is equals to closure of f inverse of A. Okay, and this implies f inverse of A is closed. So we have started with a closed set in our codomain. And we proved that inverse image of that set is closed in our domain, and hence our function f is a continuous function. Okay, it's very simple proof. Of course, we have used some results from this. Okay, so this completes our proof. Over here. So in the next video, we'll show that some properties of the first countable spaces, as in a subspace of a first countable space is first countable. Also, we'll look at the Cartesian product, okay, product space. I should not say Cartesian product. So we'll show that x plus y is first countable. If x and y are first countable, then we will show that x plus y is also a first countable space. Okay, so stay tuned and see you in the next video.